Hi, it's Alaska Granny. As preppers, we want to be ready for anything. We want to be practical, but we also want to have the survival gear and the equipment and supplies that we need. And as the economy seems to be going out of control, people's budgets are getting slashed and cut just to pay the necessities. It can be a challenge to have the supplies we need and make sure that we're prepared for an uncertain future. Today I wanted to share with you some cheap survival items that are also handy not only for an emergency, but a lot of the everyday tasks that we want to accomplish. Maybe you already have these budget-friendly survival items in your home. You just need to gather them up or make a note of where you have them stashed so that you're ready for anything. The first item is lighters. You can pick up packs of lighters inexpensively at Dollar Trees and big box stores, all kinds of places. You can pick them up even at gas stations. But it's handy to have lighters around. Now, these are not my favorite kind of lighters, but these are practical. But my favorite are the long reach lighters because they have a nice long handle. You can reach into fire pits. You can reach into lighting, say, gas stoves if you need to. You can put them down into long candle holders, and into barbecues, fire pits, all kinds of things. You can use the long reach utility lighters to reach into places where you may not be easily able to access with just a pocket lighter. Along with lighters, you may want to stock up on matches. You can get big boxes of matches that are strike on the box, and if you can find the strike anywhere, pick those up as well. Those can be very handy if, say, your box gets wet or destroyed. You can't light these strike on the box matches if you don't have the strike plate. Strike on the box matches have a chemical on the end of the match, and then there's another chemical on the edge of the box on the strike plate, and when those two are pressed together, then that's what creates the fire. So if you don't have the strike plate on the box, you can't light these. So if you can find some strike anywhere matches, pick some of those up as well. Along with the big box, I also like to get the little boxes because you can drop these into your picnic basket, your camping gear, your go bag, your emergency kits. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to have small boxes of matches as well. So take an inventory of your matches and make sure that you have plenty. The next cheap survival item would be candles. You can pick up sets of the tea light candles, votive candles. These are inexpensive, and you can get a lot of different ones, which can be nice because then you can spread lights around if you need to. Not only can the tea lights and the votive candles give you light in a dark situation, you can also group them together and use them to heat up some food. The candles are giving off heat, so you could put a group of them together, put a little rack over the top, and you'd be able to heat up a little bit of food. You may not get it boiling, but you could probably get it heated through so that it's more satisfactory. Next, let's look at the tall pillar candles. You can even sometimes find them already in a glass jar, so they're going to keep them contained. You don't need another vessel. Sometimes people refer to these as Jesus candles or religious candles. You might see them used in churches. These tall jar candles are great, but you might want to make sure then you have that long reach lighter so that you can reach down in there and light it. But if you don't have one of those, know that you can light a piece of spaghetti, dried spaghetti, and you can use that to reach in as well. But it's easier if you have something that's designed for that. Because these are called 80-hour candles, doesn't mean you have to light them and leave them on, but they could give you light for several days for a few hours at a time. So one of the challenges might be moving these around. So if you light them and you think you want to move them around, put it into a mug. And then you have a handle that you can carry and set this where you need to so that you don't have to worry about burning your hand or spilling the candle, and then you can keep them safer. You also want to be careful whenever you're lighting candles. Be very cautious around children and pets because we don't want anything to get knocked over that could cause a bigger problem in your home. Maybe you've seen little candles already in a jar. There's lots of different ways to buy candles that can be very handy. Or maybe you have just a little jar. You can drop the votive candle in there and then you have it contained around. So look over some of the little containers that you have, and you can put some of these together into a candle emergency light kit so that you'll be ready if you have a power outage. Do you have an empty jar? You can make your own emergency candle kit. Take a few of the votive candles, drop them into the jar, and add a little pack of matches. Then you have this all together, ready for an emergency. You can take the candles out, put one in at a time, light it with your matches. Then you have your lit candle in a safe container that can catch the wax and not get, say, blown out from a breeze. How can we make the light from a candle brighter? Remember that it's reflective. Do you have any of the old DVDs and CDs? You can set your candle on it and the light will be reflected and it can help light up your room. Or put it in front of a mirror. Put a small mirror behind it or under it, and that can help spread the light fully. Another way to have lights for emergencies is to look at simple solar lights, the ones that go in your garden. These can be reused day after day if the power doesn't come back on. But when you first buy them, make sure that you keep the tab intact. Don't activate it until you actually need it the first time. Because if you pull the tab, the light goes out. Then if your first emergency is in the nighttime, you have to wait till tomorrow to charge it up again. So you want to store some of these without activating them. And then after you've used them, take them out and charge them up in the sun again. And if you already have some of these in your yard, don't forget they're out there. If the power goes out, go and bring them in the house. If you have other kinds of emergency lights, maybe they require batteries. Make sure you have the extra batteries. Check on them. Some of my emergency lights take AA, some take AAA. So I make sure that I have extras of those batteries so that I can utilize those simple little lights in any kind of a power outage situation. Another item that I use frequently are Ziploc bags, so I try to keep a supply of all different sizes. And one of the sizes that is very special is if you can find these giant ones. These are 2.5 gallons, so they're really big. So they can be handy for a lot of reasons why you might want a great big Ziploc bag. You can use them even if you're going to the beach, if you're going on a picnic. You can use them to separate things in your luggage if you're going on a trip. You can use them to keep your wet bathing suits on a summer trip to the lake. There's all different kinds of reasons to want some big Ziploc bags. Plus, if you've looked at any of my videos where I take meals in a bag and I put them together in a Ziploc bag, set them on the shelf, and if I need a meal, I can pull that bag of food out and make a meal. Sometimes if your recipe is going to make a big meal, you'll need a great big bag, especially if you have a large family. Then you will want to have something larger to make sure that you can keep all of the ingredients together for your recipes. So take an inventory of your Ziploc bags and make sure that you have all different sizes that are useful to you so that you'll have the things you need. And the last cheap survival item that you might want to have on hand is cash. And you'll want to have cash in some small bills. In an emergency, if all you have is a 20 and somebody needs to buy a bottle of water, they may not give you any change. But if you can peel off some 1s, 5s, or 10s for the things that you need, cash can really help save you in an emergency situation. So even if you just stash a few little dollars at a time, you'll build up your emergency stash of cash so that you can be able to provide anything else that you need along the way. We can't always remember everything, or we can't have enough of everything. And so if we have some cash on hand, we can still be able to provide that other item that we need. And remember, your emergency cash stash is for emergencies. It's not for ordering a pizza. That's not an emergency. It's not for a quick rundown to pick up some sports drinks. That's not an emergency. This is for a real emergency situation. So don't rob yourself for just convenience. Make sure that you are prepared for the situations that are really going to be a challenge. Let us know in the comments below, what are some other cheap survival items that we want to make sure we have on hand? We can't remember everything on our own, and so we can learn a lot from sharing information together. If you shop on Amazon, if you click on my link in the description box before you shop, it doesn't cost you anymore, and it provides a little bit of extra revenue that helps support my channel. I hope you'll like my video, share it, please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.